How to become a VA accredited claims agent for veterans' disability claims. To become a VA accredited claims agent, you must go through a formal application process and exam through the VA's Office of General Counsel (OGC). After an extensive background check called a character and fitness review, VA claims agent hopefuls take an online 40-question exam that demonstrates proficient knowledge of VA benefits law and procedures in topics that include basic eligibility for VA benefits, rights to appeal and disability compensation. The application process to become a claims agent can take a year or more. The application is simple and asks basic questions about you and your education. After submitting my application by email, it took 2 months to be contacted by phone from the VA OGC, in which they asked additional questions about my employment history. After the call, they followed up by email with questions on my employment history, which I answered and submitted to the VA OGC Accreditation Support Specialist within 2 days. The OGC representative responded within a few days with the following message. This message concerns your application for Department of Veterans Affairs (VA) accreditation as a claims agent. We write to inform you that we have sent letters to the individuals listed as character references on your application. We have requested that they respond within 30 days. After we receive their responses, we will continue to process your application. I immediately notified my character references, and they all submitted their letters within the required timeframe. I recommend that you submit your letters with your application. After the 30 days had passed, I followed up with the OGC program specialist by email to verify they had received the references, and it turns out one of them had somehow not been received. I immediately contacted that reference, and she resubmitted her reference, and the OGC program specialist verified that he received it within a couple of days. At this point, the VA begins a character and fitness review, which is an extensive background check. After 4 months, I followed up with the OGC program specialist, who replied that my application was still in the character and fitness review process. After another couple of months, I received an email from an OGC staff attorney asking questions about a business I had recently set up that wasn't mentioned on my application. I answered his questions within a day, and about a month later, I received a call from the decision maker on my application, an OGC associate attorney, who asked about my membership in a Facebook group for veterans claims, which I answered to her satisfaction. A few weeks later, I received an email message welcoming me to take the exam. The OGC Online VA Accredited Claims Agent Examination. Prior to 2020, the test was administered at the local regional office as a closed-book 28-question paper test. With the advent of COVID-19 and the regional offices being closed to the public and employees working from home, the OGC developed an online version of the test. Still closed book, the test is now 40 questions. You must get 75% correct. That means you must answer 30 of the 40 questions correctly. There are no true/false. All multiple choice. There are no scenario-type questions where a scenario is presented and the next few questions are based on that scenario. Once you select the answer and go to the next question, you cannot go back to review. You will be asked to show your workspace on video prior to the start. No phones, study materials, or other electronic devices. You cannot have others in the room with you. You have 60 minutes to complete the exam. You will need to turn down your speaker volume so others won't disturb you. The proctor will need to listen to your side, so don't turn off your microphone or video. You cannot have a background effect on during the test. You will be using Microsoft Teams for the test. The link will be in the email explaining the rules and the test situation. This can be a free download or web-based. You will see others logged in and they will see you. Have your ID ready, but I did not need to use it. You will be able to speak to the proctor or text. I found it easier to text on the screen so as to not disturb others or have people talking over each other. Have the 5-digit applicant ID ready and the state you are working from. The session will be recorded. You will be asked to copy a link to be placed into a browser. The link is Live Assessments, VBAtraining.org, and will be presented by the proctor on screen in the Teams chat box. Follow the on-screen instructions. Click the Begin Here green button. And now you are off to the races. My guess is this is probably a selection of a multitude of questions available for testing. I cannot see them using the same exact questions test after test, but I could be wrong. Below is a list of subjects as I remember. Certainly not complete and in no particular order. By reading this, you can see the test is very comprehensive. In addition, while the questions are not really tricky, you must read the question and not read into it. This is not secretive information since various sample tests are available on the web. Reasonable fees. VA Secretary duties. Adjustments to a rating based on the change in law. Deadlines and times of evidence submission for filing. Benefit of the doubt. Types of service connection. When can you charge fees as an agent? Rules on favorable findings. Evidence submitted to the AOJ on legacy appeals. Time frames on HLRs and supplemental claims. CAVC jurisdiction. 5, 10, 20-year rating protection rules. CAVC time frames after VBA decision. Pension effective dates. Effective date of dependent education benefits. Effective dates. Apportionment. Pension versus compensation. Order of receipt of death benefits. Qualifier for dependent child. Pre-existing condition prior to entry. CLE requirements. Clothing allowance. Withdrawal as representative. Presumption of soundness. Time limits on legacy appeals. Namer. Definition of disability impairments with regard to earning capacity. Date of reductions. FTCA/1151 claims. Who can be accredited? Ethics. After the VA claims agent examination, pass or fail. After completing the exam, I returned it to the office staff, who told me it would likely be a couple of weeks before I received the results. To my surprise, I was notified that I passed the exam on the afternoon of the same morning that I took it. I was ecstatic to receive the following email. It is a pleasure to welcome you as an accredited claims agent for the preparation, presentation, and prosecution of claims for veterans' benefits before the Department of Veterans Affairs, VA. Your accreditation is effective from the date of this email. Please read this email carefully to understand your responsibilities as a VA accredited agent. The rest of the email covered the legalities of fees for representation, annual certification, and continuing legal education. They added that they looked forward to working with me and to please note that they were going to make my name and contact information publicly available at the Office of the General Counsel website. http://www.va.gov/ogc/accreditation.asp. Lastly, they added that if at any time, I would like them to cancel my accreditation to just inform them. And that was it. I was officially a VA claims agent. In total, my process to become a VA accredited claims agent took 9 months. I have heard from others recently that their process was nearly 2 years. Hopefully, that changes real soon. I was also listed on the Benefits and My Health of It websites as a VA accredited claims agent, and given a 3-letter POA code within a week of my acceptance. POA stands for Power of Attorney. If you happen to fail the VA accredited claims agent exam the first time, be not dismayed. They will let you retake the test again at a later date.